Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetty.
Our headlines today. Good morning, it's Friday the 18th of September. Our top story today, tighter national restrictions across the whole of England are being discussed by Downing Street to try and slow the surging number of coronavirus cases.
The measures, which are being described as a circuit break, have been raised after a warning from the government's chief scientific advisers that there would be a significant rise in the death rate without further intervention. Simon Jones has more. Now, as Jessica mentioned there, new rules came into force across most of the northeast of England overnight. Our reporter Olivia Rich. Olivia, morning to you. I can see it's a rather dusky morning. The nights are setting in, aren't they? Scientists say a rapid coronavirus test has been developed that can accurately diagnose an infection within 90 minutes without needing a specialist laboratory. The device, the Barbadian Prime Minister has said she wants the country to become a republic by November next year, when it will celebrate the 55th anniversary of its independence from Britain. 11 minutes past 6 is the time. Let's get some weather forecasts and predictions with Sarah, who's at RHS Wisley in Surrey this morning. Morning, Sarah. Hey, how are you feeling about the mornings being a bit darker now? It definitely feels that autumn is here, doesn't it?
But it must be made with 2 pieces of buttered soft white bread.
No.
I'll tell you what, this might work better if I go through it first before you reject the whole thing, OK? But 2 pieces of buttered soft white bread, each half the thickness of the fish fingers. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Thick tartare sauce and salad garnish must be placed on top of the fish, and the sandwich left, interesting, the sandwich left for 60 to 90 seconds before eating.
Shall I tell you my issues with that?
Yeah?
One, the fish fingers have to be grilled, and they have to be juicy fish fingers. 2, the problem with just bread is if you leave it for 60 to 90 seconds, it soaks up the heat from the fish fingers, so the bread then goes soggy, right? So the bread should actually be toasted, lightly toasted. There should be lettuce in the sandwich.
There are howls around the nation. There are howls.
It doesn't
at that
matter.
point.
It doesn't matter.
There
should be at least 4 fish fingers in the sandwich, and when the sandwich is cut, corner to corner.
People are interested. I'll tell you what people are interested in. They're interested in credentials here. How many of these sandwiches have you made in your lifetime?
I'd say hundreds.
OK, so...
A fish finger sandwich is
my
go-to
Mr. Panesar, who's come up with this, which may not be to everyone's taste, his credentials are he's made more than 15,000.
And he's still got it wrong.
15,000 sandwiches.
And he's still got it wrong. When was the last time you had a fish finger sandwich?
A very long time ago, to be honest. A very long time
Really?
ago. It's something I haven't done. It's something I absolutely associate with childhood, to be honest with you. So I just haven't... I've not done that.
Don't you indulge in any childhood
welcome,
foods?
and maybe I'll go back to it because of this very debate.
See,
I wouldn't have it like that, actually, to be honest.
You wouldn't?
No.
How would you have it?
I would probably go... It would be white bread. It would be... and it would be... Frankly, it would be heavy on the butter, which I shouldn't really say out loud, but it probably would be heavy on the butter.
See, I'd have no butter. I'd have the tartar sauce. Tartars and English mustard. A little bit
You
of
got
that.
anything else for us?
I have. It's interesting. We're talking to Keith, a member of the Pink Floyd later on, aren't we? We're talking to Nick Mason, who's the drummer, who's brought out a new album. And it was just really interesting. I'm a big fan of Van Morrison, his music, anyway. And he's just written some new music. Producing 3 tracks. He's actually protesting against the restrictions. It's timely considering we're talking about the potential for a new type of national lockdown, potentially. He's just releasing 3 songs, and I just thought, and, want to be free, and As I Walked Out. So, he sang Have I Told You Lately and Bright Side of the Road. I just thought it was really interesting seeing musicians, artists expressing how they feel during lockdown, because we'll be talking to Nick Mason from Pink Floyd later about his latest music and, of course, how he feels.
Let's see, time now is 19 minutes past 6. Let's go back to our main story this morning. More than 40,000 people have died from coronavirus in the UK since the start of the pandemic, all leaving behind devastated family and friends.
Now, a group of 1,600 bereaved families has now called for an urgent public inquiry into the government's handling of the crisis, in the hope that lessons can be learned ahead of a possible winter surge. Our reporter Alex Forsyth has spoken to 2 of the families involved.
Extraordinary images in that report.
It's time to find out what's happening wherever you are this morning. We'll see you shortly.
Let's bring you right up to date with today's main stories. New England-wide lockdown measures are being considered by the government to try to tackle the rising number of coronavirus cases. 3 is the time now. We're outdoors a lot this morning, which is a delight. And part of that is Sarah, who's at RHS Wisley, which is in Surrey, in the greenhouse, I'm guessing. Sarah, going to get out later?
There are new rules for the hospitality industry which come into force today. It looks like there could be more rules in the coming weeks. And, of course, we're talking today about the potential discussion there is going around at the moment of a tighter lockdown nationally.
Let's go to Ben, who's at a pub in West London for us this morning. Well, it's a beautiful backdrop you have there, Ben, and the weather is good. People could be going out, but I mean, this is a tricky time, isn't it, for pubs and just how they work within the restrictions, which are various depending on where you are. Get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.